ScriptBlueprint presents Exodus, Gods and Kings. This story is 3,300 years old and is believed to be a true story from the Bible. It is the story of the Hebrews, who have been slaves in Egypt for the last 400 years. But in these 400 years, they did not forget their homeland, nor did they forget their God. And God also did not forget them. They have been slaves in Egypt for 4 generations. All of them work as laborers here, building huge palaces and statues to make the city beautiful. But their own lives are very painful. At the beginning of the film, they show a palace called Memphis. Inside, a meeting is going on where it is being said that an army is standing at our border because they are afraid that we might attack them. The king says that he does not want them to attack us, and they decide that we will attack them first. But before that, the fortune teller, who reads omens, tells them that in this war a general's life will be in danger, and whoever saves him will rule in the future. Now, there are 2 people who are very close to the king. One is Ramses, the king's son, and the other is Moses. Moses is the son of the king's sister, that is, Ramses' cousin. However, the king is more attached to Moses. He knows that Moses is more capable. Now, they all go to war, and a moment comes when Ramses' life is about to be taken, and at that moment Moses saves his life. After returning from the war, when the king learns that Moses saved Ramses, and just as the woman had prophesied that the one who saves the general's life will rule in the future, the king says, "I know you do not believe in prophecies and omens, but I do. But I am wondering how you can become my heir? Not through Ramses." Moses says, "Not in any way." The king says, "Yes, right now no way is visible." The king actually loves Moses very much, and Moses also respects the king a lot. After this, they show a court session where it is reported that the laborers in Pithom are creating a lot of trouble. The king tells his son to go and inspect the situation, but later Moses quietly tells him, "Do not go there, I will go. Going there will be beneath your dignity." Now, because of the earlier prophecy and Moses saving Ramses' life, suspicion starts growing somewhere in Ramses' heart, but it is not yet strong. Moses goes to Pithom and sees that the condition of the laborers is very bad. The minister there says that they can revolt at any time because their numbers are huge. Moses says, "Fine, I want to talk to these people." And he calls a meeting in which he invites the Hebrew elders. Moses asks them, "What do you people want?" An old man present there says, "We want to go to our own country, whose name is Canaan." Moses says, "I have been there, and it is a very dangerous place. The tribes there are very dangerous. If you go there, you will not return." Moses asks the old man his name. He says, "First tell me your name." Moses says, "Okay," and tells him, "I am the son of Bethiah and my name is Moses." On hearing this, everyone there becomes a little happy. While leaving, that man tells him, "My name is Nun." After this, Moses is told that Nun wants to meet him alone. When Moses goes there, Nun tells him, "You have been told that you are the son of a general, but you do not know your father's name. But you were born a slave." He tells him, "The year you were born, a prophecy was made that our Savior would be born. When the king came to know this, he had every Hebrew baby born that year killed. Your parents did not want to lose you at any cost, so they gave you to your sister. Your sister set you adrift in the river. Princess Bethiah was bathing in the river, and when she saw you, she took you in and brought you to the palace. And she made your sister your nurse, but she never told this to anyone." Moses says, "A good story," and he does not believe him at all and leaves. But while Nun is telling this story to Moses, 2 other people overhear the whole thing. On the other side, it is shown that the king had been ill for a long time and now he has died. After his death, Ramses becomes the king. Those 2 men who had heard the whole story that Nun told Moses go and tell everything to their minister, and the minister comes and tells everything to Ramses. Now doubts have entered Ramses' mind. Moses is now Ramses' advisor and a very important part of this palace, this kingdom. After hearing the whole story, Ramses calls the nurse who raised Moses. He asks her, "Is Moses your brother?" She says, "No." Ramses lifts his sword and says, "I will ask for the last time, is Moses your brother?" She says, No, Ramses is about to cut off her hand when Moses says, "Yes, I am her brother." After saying this, Moses is banished from the kingdom. Although Ramses still does not really believe it, he thinks it is all a false story, but he also wanted to get rid of Moses, so he banishes him. Before leaving the kingdom, Moses meets his mother, Bethiah, and Miriam, his sister. Now his mother tells him the whole truth. She says, "Yes, you are not my son. I found you in the river, and Miriam is your real sister. We never told this to anyone." But Moses still does not believe it. He says, "This cannot be." She says, "This is the truth." After this, Moses goes out into a wilderness where there is no sign of human life, where there is only one thing, death. But Moses goes further and reaches a tribe. There he sees a well where two girls are filling water. Just then some men with lots of sheep and goats come and forcibly make their animals drink water. Moses goes there and starts drinking water, and they tell him to drink after them. Moses puts his sword in front of them, which scares them, and they run away. After this, the girls invite Moses to their home for a meal because Moses had driven away those troublemakers. Moses falls in love with one of the girls and stays there. After some time, Moses marries that girl, and they have a son. Moses is now a shepherd, and 9 years have passed. Moses has no faith in God, but his wife has deep faith in God. One day, a storm comes and his sheep and goats go up a mountain. The locals call this mountain God's mountain. When Moses goes to get his flock, rocks and mud fall from above and he gets buried underneath. When he opens his eyes, there is a burning bush, and a voice comes into his ears, "Moshe." Then a child appears. Moses' birth name is Moshe. The child tells Moses, "You forgot your people, but they are still waiting for you. Go to Egypt. See the condition of your people." After this, Moses closes his eyes, and when he opens them, he is in front of his wife. According to Moses, that child was God. When he tells his wife, she says God cannot be a child. Moses asks his wife, "Have you seen God? If you have, tell me what he looks like." His wife says, "Go to sleep. You are still badly hurt." After this, Moses gets another vision of the same child, and now Moses decides that he will go to Egypt. Moses reaches Egypt and meets that same old man who had told him the reality of his life. This time he also meets his real brother. After this, Moses secretly enters Ramses' stable at night. Ramses feels that someone is outside, and when he comes out, Moses puts a sword to his throat. Ramses says, "You are alive. I am glad to see you." Moses says, "Is that why you sent 2 assassins to kill me?" Because when Moses was in the wilderness, 2 assassins had come to kill him. Ramses says, "Not me, my mother might have sent them." Moses says, "Don't blame her." Then Moses says, "The conditions here have become worse than before. The slaves are suffering terribly." Ramses says, "No, nothing like that." Moses says, "I have seen with my own eyes. If they work, they should be paid for their labor, or else set them free." Ramses says, "They are like animals, and even if we set them free, they do not know how to live, and you should not be influenced by their words." Moses says, "I am not influenced by their words." Ramses asks, "Then by whose?" Moses says, "By God's." And saying this, Moses leaves. After this, a meeting is held in Ramses' palace where Ramses says, "Moses put a sword to my throat and spoke of freeing the slaves, which means he threatened me. Now he has no right to live. Kill Moses." Now, whenever Ramses' men ask any family about Moses' whereabouts, and if that family does not tell, the whole family is publicly hanged. On the other hand, Moses is now building his own army among the slaves in Egypt. He teaches them horse riding, archery, and how to use weapons so that they can form their own army. After some time, Moses has his own army ready. They then decide to trouble the people of Egypt. They burn their food supplies, burn their boats, and burn some people's houses to force Ramses to free the slaves. One day, the same child who met Moses on God's mountain, whom Moses calls God, appears before him. Moses asks, "Where were you?" The child says, "I was watching you lose." The kind of fight you are fighting will take you many years, maybe a generation. Moses says, I am ready to fight for a generation. The child says, maybe I am not. Now you will do nothing, just keep watching. While Moses is talking to the child, a man from a distance sees Moses talking to someone, but there is no one in front. This means the child is God. The next day, huge crocodiles appears in the river of Egypt, and all the people on the boats are killed by the crocodiles. All the fish in the river die, and blood starts flowing in place of water. When the crops get no water, all the harvest is ruined. After this, a plague of frogs spreads across the whole kingdom, frogs everywhere. When those frogs die, so many flies come that people cannot even eat. Then something happens that they never imagined. Disease spread throughout the kingdom, and from king to queen, no one is spared. After this, Moses sends a message to Ramses on horseback. It says, all these plagues are from God, and in the coming time they will increase. We must make a compromise. But in return, Ramses oppresses the slaves even more, doubles their work, and also hangs those who do not reveal Moses' whereabouts. There is chaos in all of Egypt. When God sees that Ramses still has not listened, all the domestic animals, horses, oxen, goats, start dying, and the whole kingdom is distressed. But God's wrath does not stop. There is a hailstorm of stones. After that, something happens in Egypt that makes the whole world face hunger. Billions of locusts come and destroy all the crops. By now, Ramses is very troubled by all these disasters. When he goes to rest, he feels Moses is nearby. He says, Moses, are you here? But Moses is not there. Then he threatens, now if one more thing happens in Egypt, then every Hebrew baby, who cannot even walk yet, will never walk. I will drown him in a deep sleep, as I should have drowned you. And you say that you did not do all this, your God did it. Then I am God. Let us see who is faster at killing you, your God, or me. Now Moses goes to God, and God says, I know he has not listened to me, and I heard his final threat. Now it will be even worse. Although Moses does not want worse things to happen in Egypt because he was raised there, God says, after 400 years of slavery, I now want these people to bow down before me. God tells Moses, go and tell Ramses that by this evening, before darkness falls, if he does not listen to me, then all the children of Egypt will die. And God says one more thing. Tell all our people to slaughter a lamb and put its blood on their doorposts and lintels. Along with this, night instantly falls there and God turns night into day. Moses again goes to Ramses and puts forward his proposal, but Ramses does not listen. While leaving, Moses says, take care of your child tonight. After this, at night, a dark shadow is shown moving towards Egypt and covering the whole of Egypt. With that shadow, all the children of Egypt die. The next day, Ramses comes to Moses holding the dead body of his own child. He says to Moses, what kind of God is yours? Who kills children? Last night, all the children of Egypt died. Moses says, last night, not a single Hebrew child died. After this, Ramses says, go leave. Take your people and leave this place forever. Moses leaves Egypt forever with his people, heading towards Canaan. Ramses lets them go but later feels that he should not have let them go. He should have killed them. He pursues them with 4,000 of his men. Although he is 4 days behind them, he has chariots and horses so he can reach them quickly. On the other side, Moses gets the news that Ramses is chasing them. He says, move as fast as you can. Now they have two options, a mountain route and another route. Moses decides to take the mountain route because Ramses' chariots cannot come there easily, and even if they do, it will take them a lot of time, giving his people some time. They take the mountain route, and exactly that happens. When Ramses' army follows through the mountains, many of their horses fall into the ravines, causing great loss to Ramses. Finally, they reach a place with Moses and his people. Now Moses has the Red Sea in front of him and Ramses with his army behind him. Moses decides that now they must cross the sea, because he receives a sign from God. He moves towards the sea with all his people, and the water of the sea starts to recede, the sea splits into two parts and a path forms in the middle. Behind them, Ramses and his army enter the same path. When Moses's people are almost across the sea, the water starts returning, and the waves become very high. Moses tells his people, "You go," and he himself moves towards the sea. Ramses and his army see the water rushing back and start retreating. But before Ramses can attack Moses, the sea swallows them. All of Ramses's men drown and die. But Moses and all his people cross safely. Now they must move on towards Canaan, but Moses's home is very close by, where his wife and child are waiting for him. Moses takes everyone to his home, meets his son and his wife. Now Moses has complete faith in God. After this, they all set out from there towards the land of Canaan, and during the journey, it is shown that God is with them. With this, the film ends. Please write in comments what you think about that true story of Bible.